G'day everyone and welcome to episode 68, where that is right, the screenshot is correct. It is now time for the Wild West Falls. This video will pretty much just be me building out pretty much the ride pattern that I feel like I can go with. You can see it there written on the floor of just where I feel like everything exists now with the turntables and obviously where the ride goes backwards. Obviously we can't do that in this current creation of Planet Coaster. I was just going to do the ride where you could just go through it and it wasn't an actual ride, but yeah, I just feel like it works better with the log fumes. That if we just did our own sort of style and still made it work somehow, I feel like that it's a nice compromise for all of the end of this experience of actually having a ride to ride on and not missing out on it. So I really wanted to use the log flume. It's going to be a lot harder. It's going to obviously change the ride a lot, but I feel like we can still pull it off and just unfortunately miss out on the actual reverse parts of the ride and turntables and such. But yeah, pretty much putting the ride together, I just wanted to get a basic sort of layout for just the sizing and how things wanted to be. You'll see that change 200, 300 times, I feel, over the course of this video. Pretty much this part of the build is pretty much just brainstorming. It's just literally me sitting staring at a screen for a couple of hours, trying to work out how I was going to do this ride, because I did look at it as just doing it piece for piece, shot for shot, like it's just how it is and stuff like that. But you know, a lot of people have been commenting, saying that they do have a lot of trust in me to do it in my own style and do it well. So I feel like I am going to back myself and really go for it and just do something not completely different, but just in my sort of style to make it a lot more bearable for you guys to sit through instead of just seeing it completely recreated as is. So that'll be up to you whether it's when you download this to redo it yourselves or not. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I do a ride through eventually. I'm not sure when I do that. I think I do that now actually. Okay, so this is pretty much going to be me talking about what I believe is going to happen. So this will be obviously the start of the ride where you'll take off. We'll obviously have the bridge that the staff cross on and the maintenance zone straight ahead there. This will probably just be the little precursor bit. I'm still judging on the heights of all the rides. I don't know whether I'll keep the rides that high. It's set to its real volume at the moment of, I think it's 60 meters, no, 20 meters drop it is from that highest point. So this part here obviously will be going inside the mountain. The mountain is something that I really want to do within the first couple of episodes, because I feel like that will really set the pace for just the style that I'm going to go with, to whether like how crazy I'm going to go with. I don't want to jump into like the rest of the ride and then end on that. I really want to just like hit the ball running. So hopefully in the next episode will be the mountain being finished off. Just as I'm pretty sure at the end of this video we finished probably just the roughing of the main like floating area where all the water is. So that was hard in itself, getting stuff to set up. So we're obviously going to have to skip the part where it reverses there with the sort of the geysers and stuff like that shooting up. Coming around this bend, I do have it set like really big at the moment, so I will probably sit down over the weekend and go over this pattern just a little bit, just to shorten it down, as it's a 6-minute ride in real life, and I'm trying to get that down to maybe 3 minutes in the game just by how fast it travels and stuff like that. So obviously this part here coming up will be the broken train bridge. Coming around the corner though, getting into the town, there is like a little Indian section and stuff like that. I'm still just trying to find different things that we could incorporate into the ride ourselves, like different systems from what I've done, what I haven't done. I don't know if anyone has seen my Batman Escape from Gotham ride. That was where I spent a couple of weeks designing that ride to work with screens and stuff like that. And I feel like I'm obviously very biased thinking that like how well I've done it. I'm very proud of that ride, but obviously it's one of the other videos that hasn't got a lot of views, but the people that have watched it, I've really enjoyed it. So I've always designed that ride to fit inside of Movie World. I always thought it was going to fit inside of the showcase building. I thought it would be good to have a ride like that in Movie World, apart from the Justice League ride, but yeah, that remains to be told of what Movie World does with that building. So coming through here will just be the town. The town's pretty much just going to be very basic. I don't think that will take us very long. As I said, I am going to approach this ride kind of like how I did with the Scooby-Doo coaster, as if they have invited us in to revamp the ride, or let's just say revamp the ride. That if they came to us and said, hey, here's a couple of $1 million, we want to revamp the Wild West coaster without having to replace the log flume part. So obviously you wouldn't do a full remodel, you'd do just little bits and pieces here every now and then, or you would do a whole thing. I suppose it depends on what they want. But this part here in here, this is where most of my brain work has gone, the way I've set this up. A couple of people will know what I'm planning when I build that, but obviously it all leads to this part right here of the big drop. And then that'll be the finish of the ride, and then the park will be in your hands. So the biggest thing here, that the challenge I had is this is set up really far away from that part of the road that we left. As you can see, the gap down there. So I've got to find a way of bringing it back closer to us. So you see there with how far it is from the footpath. I've got to find a way to get it back closer to us, to where the front entrance still fits in there. You can walk down the side there on the left and obviously watch the splashes and stuff like that. The only problem is that part of the park is set on a hill, and we obviously can't do that in this game, and everything's level here. So I've got to try and think of something different that we could do on that left side, because just a boring footpath is going to be very weird. I'm not sure what links up on the other side of that. I think it's just backstage area from memory, but it's all right. We'll continue on with our build so far. So at the moment, I'm obviously showing off it coming down for another ride, just to show off that's what the shot's going to be of. It's cool to see like just the bare bones of it. Like, to think of what we're going to do over the next couple of weeks it's killing me to think of all that time, but it's going to be interesting. So I knew I wanted to have the base here set out in concrete. I was just going to use the terrain tool and just put concrete down on the ground, but I knew I was going to use a lot of the dirt pieces to try and get that set up. So a lot of leveling, a lot of trying to get sizes up on this. So here you'll see me do a couple of different pieces here. This is what I've done a couple of times, of trying to just see what works and what doesn't work. Like, there's a lot of different timbers in here, but a lot of them are kind of weird with how they're set up. They're not sort of set in stone. There's big pieces like this, there's fake pieces like that. Trying to work out the difference of, because what we really need to achieve is the depth perception of that mountain. That's what they've done really well. Of everything down here is big, it's oversized, it's massive. Then you go up, so it's like 4 or 5 levels of, this is obviously level 1. Everything here is massive. All the rocks are big, all the trees are big, all the shrubbery's big. Then when you step to like halfway to where the little geyser is in the middle of the park, that gets a little bit smaller. Then it goes to about where the ride goes up that first lift hill. Then it goes up to the top of the hill, and that's about halfway where the door is, because you got to remember that the door that they come out of is normal size in this game. So it's going to be very hard to find that balance of the depth perception that I'm going to need to be able to create along this ride. So I look forward to trying to work that out, but at the same time, it's very intimidating trying to find rock pieces that we can use here. I knew a lot of this stuff would be underwater, so I knew it was going to be very hidden compared to what else is. I also see in this part here, and this is where my creative flair is coming in of, I always thought it looked cool to have it looking like it was like a dam breaking, to where that would just be a little waterfall section coming out as if it was about to burst, that it was getting ready to pop its thing, and they've got all timber trying to hold it up and keep it together. But you'll see a lot of that in this build. I know a lot of people, some people like it, some people don't, but I just feel like in order for me to get through this, I got to build it my way, and then yeah, it'll be in your hands. You can create it however you want. So I settled on that sort of design for the wall piece. I feel like it came out really nice in the end, just as I wanted a walkway that staff could walk on if they really wanted to help people get out of the boats and stuff like that. So obviously wrapping the rocks around, it does repeat a lot, but it is very easy to hide that when I go back over with plants and other rocks and just little knickknacks and stuff like that for the park. So I'm not sure what else I do. I'm pretty sure I just finish off the rock work and then I call it a day, because it started to get to me of thinking of that big mountain again. But as I said, that will probably be in the next video or two. I am kind of skipping the main station at the moment, mainly because there's not much footage inside of the station. From where the front entrance is to when you get on the ride vehicle, there's not much video wise and stuff like that in there. So I've got to keep that in mind. But as I said, we're on the Wild West Falls. This is great. We're getting excited, guys, because it's going to be a good ride. Thank you so much for watching. Check out one of these videos and have a great day.